And this shade is going right on the center of the eyelid. Oh my goodness. This shade is stunning. On my latest beauty news video, I shared with all of you a sneak peek of a leak image and some information regarding the newest Natasha Denona Fall Eyeshadow Palette, and it has launched. I went ahead and purchased mine, the I Need a Warm palette, and on today's video I will be going over swatches, comparisons, a couple eyeshadow looks, all the details, because on this eyeshadow palette, Natasha Denona is introducing a couple new formulations. So in today's video you will have complete and full-on review. This palette is available right now at Sephora's website, at Ulta, and Natasha Denona. If you want to save some money, I do have a discount code with Natasha Denona. This video is not sponsored by Natasha Denona, and she did not send me this palette on PR. Like I said before, I bought it myself. Now, if you are following me on TikTok and Instagram, you may have seen my unboxing because I couldn't resist myself, and as soon as I opened it up, I also couldn't resist myself and I swatched it. Wait and see, this baby is the midi size. It costs $69 and is made in Italy. If you're not familiar with Natasha Denona's eyeshadow palettes, they do have these pink holes on the back. So if you have other Natasha Denona palettes, you can create your very own and unique color story to your likes, to your needs. They do come with a nice size mirror. Now, what we are seeing right now is two new formulas, two eyeshadows. They do have a metal foil formulation and a new matte formulation, a sleep cream matte. Sounds kind of different, right? And on this eyeshadow palette too, she's bringing us a duochrome eyeshadow as well as a triochrome, which she hasn't done that for a while now. Let's go ahead and swatch this baby, going row by row. Soft spot, matte medium earthy brown, fancy metallic champagne, mellow creamy matte, light peachy nude, phenomena, a multi-chrome eyeshadow with a peach, pink, and green flip, ripe, a creamy matte, light medium peach brown, elm in the sparkling foil formulation, described as a light bronzy nude, although I feel that's more champagne than bronzy. Snack, which is the new formulation, metal gloss soft bronze, bean, it's a matte shade, deep warm brown, push, a sparkling foil, a medium rusty rose gold, fervor, creamy matte, a medium warm caramel, pep, a creamy matte, deep warm brown, homie, a metal gloss warm nude. Let's see. Oof. Oh my goodness. I can do my entire arm with this swatch. So glossy. Hanker is a metallic shade, described as a medium dark golden brown. And definitely you can see that golden undertone to it. Dynamism is a duochrome shade, described as a medium brown with green specks, which I cannot see a lot of the green, to be honest with you. It looks more bronzy than anything, at least on the swatch. Flash Over Sleep Cream Matte, a medium clay brown. That is so soft. It feels lotion-like, very, very smooth, but it's not slippery or creamy. It just does have a smoothness, and you can tell it does have so many emollients that even on my own arm, it made my fine lines kind of blur. I'm excited for this shade and this finish. Going first with the shade Mellow and a Sonia G Classic Crease. I will be using this shade above the crease, and I'm not using any primer. Usually when I review any eyeshadow palettes, I try to do not help them out and just use them as is, just to try the formulation, see how much fall out, kick back, how they build up, etc. Okay, this is showing peachy on my eyelids. With a Chanel 202 brush, I want to try this new Sleep Matte shade, Sleep Cream Matte shade called Flash Over. That's how much the brush picked up, and I'm gonna take it and apply it on my outer third. This shade is super nice, smooth, and like I said before, pretty blurring. Sonia G Builder Pro and the shade Phenomena. Let's try this multi-chrome eyeshadow. Oh, so gorgeous. so, so gorgeous. And I'm applying it completely dry. Okay, this eyeshadow is not thick, and that's something that is hard to find in a multi-chrome kind of shade. Most of multi-chromes, they are a little bit thicker in consistency, they have a lot of fallout or a lot of texture to it. This one doesn't. Is very, very beautiful. Now I'm gonna intensify a little bit this shade and apply it with my finger. If you want to see even more of that chief, one side is green, the other one, I mean, like, you can even see it on my finger. It has so much dimension between gold, pink, and green. Taking the shade Ripe, and I'm applying it on my lower lash line. This is giving me fall vibes. Shade Fancy, taking it on my inner corner. Oh my gosh, the payoff of this eyeshadow is incredible. Whatever is remaining, I'm going to take it on my brow bone. Sonia G Flat Definer and Flash Over. And I'm taking the shade and applying it on the roots of my lower lash line. Going back again to this shade with a Sonia G Classic Crease. And I'm just going to intensify on the outer V. Here it is, the first eyeshadow look. I apply brown mascara and brown eyeliner. Again, all those details will be in the description box below. And now let's go to the second eyeshadow look. I'm going again with Mellow as a base. And I'm applying it above the crease. Going next with the shade Pep. And I'm taking it on the outer V. Sonia G Worker Brush, and I'm going with the shade Hunker. I'm going to take this shade and applying it close to khaki shade. Right next to the shade Pep. But not getting into the middle of the eyelid. Just trying to create kind of like a transition. Going with a Snag, a metal gloss finish. And I'm applying this shade on the inner third. Smith 253 brush and the shade Homie, also a metal gloss. And this shade is going right on the center of the eyelid. Oh my goodness. This shade is stunning. Let's go to Soft Spot. And I'm taking this shade on the lower lash line. Next, going back to the shade Pep. I'm taking it on the outer third of the lower lash line and also on the upper lash line. I'm just gonna line. Next, let's go with the shade Elm. And I'm gonna take it on my inner corner. Okay, this is not as shiny as the shade Fancy. You see right here, this one is like poop, and this one is more subdued. But it has a beautiful, kind of like a yellowy undertone. Alrighty friends, and here it is, the final look. For your request to compare it with the Viva palette. Do you see some resemble over here? I think it does in a way, but in a way it doesn't. I went ahead and just swatched a few of the shades from Viva palette right next to the swatches of the new Warm palette. And yes, there are a few shades. And in fact, Natasha Denona on her Instagram, when she was doing her swatches, she mentioned it, that some of the shades are inspired by other shades that she has had in the past, but that they are new finishes or new formulations. She referred in a specific about Ripe. That is a shade from the discontinued Metropolis palette, but it does have a different formulation. This one is not a cream to powder formula. It's a simple matte formula. And in terms of which shades resemble what, the first one, it is Rustic, then I found Cocoa, Freckle, and Shine. Those are the ones that really are more alike to these other shades over here. Because, like I said, not that many. What are those? Exactly 4 shades. I tried another shades, but there is a slight difference. The Viva palette is even more warm, more mustard, and even it has those reddish tones, and all of a sudden you have these grayish tones that they don't really, quote unquote, mix well together with the other shades. It's a beautiful palette, and for many, a staple in your collection, but this was one of those groundbreaking palettes because it combined different tones and undertones, but it is different than the new I Need a Warm palette. Now, what about the new gold palette? My goodness me, friends, these are so different. Gold is truly gold. I mean, if anything, perhaps the warmer tones of brown, perhaps flesh, even thick, maybe log. Fizzy could be one. They have a lot of yellow gold undertone to them. Look at this. I'm just gonna put them right here because you can see it even has more cool tones to it. This gold doesn't really go anywhere because it's gold. This one has a little bit more green tone. No, no, definitely no. This one has definitely those golden yellowy undertones. And in terms of the I Need a Nude eyeshadow palette, which Natasha Denona is calling them sisters because this is kind of like a new line for Natasha Denona. As you can tell, this one leans a little bit more cooler in tone. It does have more pronounced taupe, even closer to pewter tones in it. Do you see that? Leans a lot more cooler. It does have a pop of peach in tone, but it does have, I mean, in comparison, you can tell it does have a pink undertone even on those peachy tones. In terms of the bronze palette, this is so warm. It's fire. It does have so much red to it, cranberry. It's just very intense and deep. And even the warmer tones, they lean orangey, yellow, even pumpkin spice kind of vibes. It's a very beautiful palette. I love this palette, but you have to be in the mood to use something really like ultra uber warm tone. Honestly, none of these shades, I mean, they are just so warm, like too warm for words. I'm just gonna put them a little bit randomly here just to show them to you. I mean, they are within the same family, but let's go for this one here. They are not the same. So red. I have a white carpet, so believe me what I'm telling you, I don't want to mess this up. And then this cranberry tone right here, I'm just going to put it up here so you can see all these different shades, just to give you an idea if you're getting truly many repeated shades. If anything, the Viva palette is the one that carries the shades that are the most alike to this palette, but very few. I mean, between like what, 4, perhaps even 5 out of 15 shades, you're regardless getting 10 or 11 new shades here on the new I Need a Warm palette. Now, what I think about the warm palette though, I cannot tell you if you need it or do not need it. It is a color story that it has to vibe with you. This is the thing with Natasha Denona. In the many years that I have reviewed Natasha Denona's palettes, almost 6 years, I do own every palette from Natasha Denona, like every. A lot of her palettes carry a lot of warm tone eyeshadows, mostly on the red undertones. She's bringing something not completely different, but giving really the center of attention a peachy undertone, which I'm surprised that she didn't call this eyeshadow palette I Need a Peach palette, because if she would have done so, it's kind of like I need a nude lipstick, I need a nude eyeshadow, I need a peach lipstick like the one I'm wearing today, I need a peach eyeshadow kind of thing. I know she went with the warm theme, perhaps thinking, in general, overall, something that, kind of like resonates with most people. But anyhow, this has a lot more of peachy undertones, and it does have some taupey tones, which I'm very surprised and happily surprised about it, because she's bringing those green and golden undertones from this multi-chrome in this shade over here, in this shade over here, even this shade. It kind of brings down a little bit of neutrality to the eyeshadow palette. Now, in terms of the new formulas, these two right here, they are stunningly gorgeous. They give that wet eyeshadow look. They are not as sparkly, not even textured, because the sparkly foil finish from Natasha Denona, they do have a lot of sparkles, but they are not, like crumbly. But these ones are just like extremely smooth. It's a very smooth metallic formulation, even to the point of feeling a little bit closer as if you were wetting the eyeshadow and applying it wet. That's the way that it feels. Not cold or cool, or it is just that sensation and that finish as you were able to see by the application. In terms of this new, what is it called? Sleep Cream Matte Formula, I think she has received such conflicting feedback on her cream to powder formulation. I particularly love it, but I know many people, they do not love that formula. So I think she has tweaked it with this formulation. I really, really enjoy it because it's not only smooth, but it's blurring. For a person like me, I have hooded eyes. I have what is considered mature skin because I'm over 40 years old, right? I want on my eyelids something that is smoothing. And I will have love for her to bring not only this shade, but perhaps a lighter shade on the same formulation, just to create that kind of like all over matte eyeshadow look would have been beautiful. One thing though, it is so creamy, not cream, but creamy. It does have that creamy texture that if you dig too much, you're going to pick up too much on the brush and you may see fallout, which I saw that, and I saw that going on my carpet and I almost panicked. I was able to pick it up carefully, and by the magic of editing, you didn't saw me going like down and up. But anyhow, just be careful of that. It's not that you're going to have kickback, it's just that don't dig your brush hard. So if you're heavy handed, which I'm not, but if you are, or if you're using a brush that could be a little bit more rough, that is not of soft bristles, just be careful, go slow with it. It is a very easy to use formula though. So if you're like, oh my gosh, no, or you're saying it's, I'm afraid I have to use eyeshadows, please do not be afraid. Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette, this is why it's so looked after, because she not only brings fabulous, different, cohesive color stories, but she is like a child at a candy store playing with her formulas and bringing something new. I love, love, love that of her. I think if one day I will meet her, I will tell her that don't lose that. Don't lose that, because, that passion shows in what she does. When she brings us different formulas, tweaks the formulation, I don't get upset because she does it from the love of her heart. That's how I feel it. I can feel that sensation here. She does it for the best. She doesn't do it just for like, oh, it's because I care less about my clients. No, it's because she's listening. She's just like trying. That's why also she must have brought just one eyeshadow in this formulation, because she's thinking, okay, I received so many, not so many, but some negative reviews about that cream to powder formula. Well, let me try this one and see if that can replace that. That's what I'm kind of thinking. But anywho, friends, do you need this eyeshadow palette? That's something that I cannot respond to you. It depends a lot if you like warm tones, if you like peachy tones. It's more than anything peachy tones, because as you can see, it's not that my eye looks, they look like pumpkin spice. Perhaps a little bit with this shade because it does have, that intense multi-chrome, but in general it's not uber warm eyeshadow palette like it was the bronze palette or other palettes from her. Hopefully it makes sense. I think it makes a difference between them, and I even think that this could be an upgrade, not in formula necessarily, because the formula from the Viva palette is just her old formula, delightful, but an upgrade on the Viva palette, because there was something about the Viva palette that I felt like it was lacking on some metallic shades and satin shades that I would have loved to see there, aside to the matte shades. So I think this is a little bit of an upgrade. In addition, that this doesn't cost like the Viva palette, $129. This is about half the price. Yes, you get less product, but you get more variety, chance to try her formulation. Truly enjoy this palette. I think this is going to become a staple in my collection. I wish though she will have included a true peach metallic tone, because all of these, they do have a little bit of champagne, a little bit of even like pink in it, but I wish to have like a true peach metallic shade. Oh, I will be drooling for it. And another lighter matte shade, lighter than this, just to give us a little bit of that variation to be able to create an all matte eyeshadow look. Other than that, a great palette. I really enjoyed it. Okay, my friends, are you excited about this palette? Are you planning to pick it up? Or perhaps you already have it. Perhaps you have already tried it. Let me know your opinion. Let's continue that conversation on the comment section down below. If you like this video, if it serves you of any help, please give it a thumbs up, share with family and friends. If you have subscribed already to my channel, Thank you. Thank you so much for helping me grow my channel and keep me motivated to keep creating these videos. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if you haven't done so yet, I don't know how to get you to subscribe. Just by saying, well, perhaps it's completely free. I'm very consistent. I love what I do. Hopefully, you can become part of this family and make sure you ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads. If you're on TikTok and Instagram, come and follow me there. And if you're not done watching my content, well, guess what? I will be leaving a couple other videos at the end of the screen that I'm sure you're going to love. Until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.